you haven't checked out the Overton report, you are truly missing out. Corey Allen, we are running, so you have 1 minute. You better make it good.
Hey guys, wow. Can I just say, unlike most people here, I wrote a speech because there were things that I knew I'd miss. I tend to get very excited and then just forget everything, but there are well over 100 people here. That is huge. Give yourselves a round of a hand. You have taken the first step in activism by showing up. That is huge. Do not underestimate that. As Trish said, my name is Corey Allen with the Overton Report. Before I get started in my speech, just a little bit about me. About a year ago, we went to a rally, and there was some real far left folks over there chucking frozen water bottles, hitting kids in the face, and none of the news would report on it. So about 2 days later, we literally ordered this camera right here, and we started following all the rallies around, met up with JT Bessinger. We've been going everywhere from DC, Columbia, Greenville, Rock Hill, Charleston, mainly Charleston, doing all sorts of incredible stuff, and we met some really cool people along the way. So I've got a message that I want to I'll just start now. When I take a look around this nation, I'm frightened by some of the things that I see. We have teachers that don't even know when the country was founded, who are convinced that CRT is simply teaching real history. We have politicians who are so certain that there will be no consequences for their actions, they don't think twice about lying to your face, breaking laws, and doing unspeakable things to line their own pockets. They're certain, as am I, and as are most of us here probably, that we have at least 2 different justice systems in this nation right now. For proof of that, take this example. Hundreds of conservatives are sitting in federal jail in solitary confinement with no bond at this very moment in time for protesting at the Capitol. Earlier this week, state representatives from Texas and Ohio went into the same building, did the exact same thing, got the exact same charges, and they're looking at the sunlight right now. So, not only are these people in solitary confinement, but their GoFundMe accounts, their bank accounts have all been shut down, which is disallowing them from attempting to raise money for a legal defense, which, might I remind you, is a God-given right enumerated in the Constitution. And none of this even takes into account a full 1.5 years worth of violent extremism, looting, murder, political violence, and destruction of federal and private property from the militant wings of the Democratic Party, BLM, and Antifa, among others. What happened to them, you ask? Their charges were all dropped. If they were ever charged at all, really. On May 30th of last year, a riot broke out in Charleston, South Carolina, where I live. Members of the city council, who were still sitting council members, had nieces and friends and family members taking part. They made social media posts talking about how proud they were of their nieces and friends. Some arrests were made, but a couple months later, the vast majority were absolutely dismissed outright. Over 400 businesses closed in Charleston alone, never to reopen again, due to the absolute tyranny and disregard for the citizenry shown by the power-hungry collectivists in office right now. And that's just one city in this state, and it's happening all over. I myself have been threatened, chased off streets, slandered by the likes of the Post and Courier and local media, which is actually owned by huge out-of-state corporations, if you look into it, and Pravda-style propaganda simply for trying to show you, the average citizen like myself, the truth of the various violent protests that have taken over our streets over the past year or so. So my question today for all of us is twofold. How much and how many? How much damage must be caused by those who at their core at their core, hate our nation, hate our beliefs, hate our views, and hate conservative values in general. How many have to die, have their lives ruined, lose their jobs for expressing their views, lose their families to the utter hatred and destruction that the left has caused? And listen, when I say the left, I mean all of it. There's a reality that many of us either haven't quite been able to grasp or haven't quite been able to put in words, including myself. And I've been working to do it for a while now. Understand that on the right, we do have extremists. Nobody did not, everybody knows that. Extremists exist, that's a reality. However, we, conservatives, have taken it upon ourselves to relegate those extremists to obscurity. They have no legitimate platform, they're loved by none and respected by even less. We don't grant them a platform to spew their hatred because we as conservatives, by and large, do not condone hatred and violence as a means to a political end. But when you take a look at the left, the exact opposite is true. The people that they isolate and alienate who are on their own side are the moderate voices. Think cancel culture. The most extreme among them are the very same ones that have a stranglehold on the Democratic Party all over the country. Their most extreme operatives are not only celebrated, but given TV shows, book deals, and elected to Congress. The extreme left leads the entire Democratic Party today. And absolute power is their goal, do not forget that. There is no doubt about this truth. There is no legitimate argument which can undermine this reality. And this is the crux of our problem, my friends. How can we compete politically with a group who defines themselves through extremism, violence, vitriol, lies, propaganda, a group which does not even believe in the sanctity of human life and live their political lives by the tenets of Saul Alinsky, Margaret Sanger, and worse, rather than the Constitution, which they deem irrelevant and wish to burn the same way they burn American flags in the streets. These aren't my words, these are theirs. How do we fight it? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's not going to be easy, but nothing worth doing was ever easy. And there is nothing in the world more worth doing than every single thing we each can to save this nation from collectivist ideology, communism, and the chaos caused by the left in this country. That's the truth of it, and so it is no doubt going to be difficult. But here's the key. Here's the part that should make all of us feel at least a little better about the future. The truth is that every single one of us has a part to play. Every single action and step we take individually moves the ball further in the right direction, no matter how seemingly small that action is. Now notice, I said action, not words. Words are only useful when they're followed by action. The power in speeches and writing and meetings is that they are imperative to galvanize and push us into action. The two work together hand in hand. If all I did was get up here, give a speech, and then went back home to watch Fox News and complain to my television, that wouldn't do much good, would it? I tried it for years. It didn't work. It has to be followed with action. That's what brought us all here today, really. We're all interested in being doers and not just talkers. That's why we are here. Thank you so much for coming here. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. Honestly, I cannot overstate the importance of it. It's one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen in my life. I could never express how grateful I am to have the opportunity to help others just like you and just like me find our voice in today's extreme political climate. and to play some small part in getting real good things done in this beautiful state. You should all be very proud of yourselves for getting off your couches and coming here today to learn how to get involved in actual activism, and this is an amazing first step for many of us. I promise you that you have a role to play. I can make that promise to you right here, right now. A role that nobody else in the world could fulfill except for you. The goal is to find that part and play it well. Not everyone can be a state representative. Not everyone can make videos. Not everyone can go into dangerous situations with a camera to show people what's really going on. Not everyone can start a national movement on their own. But everyone can send emails. Anyone can write letters. Everyone can make phone calls. Anyone can register people to vote. Every single one of us can go to meetings and find out how to get involved. Everyone can find a part to play, and it will take every single one of us to keep our state and nation on the right track. Let me say this, and it might be a little intimidating at first glance, but in reality, it's an empowering realization when you really think about it. Nobody is coming to save us. There is no group, there is no man, no woman, no politician in the entire world that can save us. I know it's intimidating. But look, this is a good thing, because this means that we are the only ones who can save ourselves. And make no mistake, we have the power to do it. Of course we do. Of course we do. As long as we put the principles of conservatism and true liberty over the personalities that would co-opt that energy and direct it into lining their own pockets or lulling you into a false sense of security by presenting themselves as your savior, we have the power to save ourselves from the ever-growing threat of socialism and collectivist ideologies, Patriots. Rejoice in that fact. There are so many ways to get involved. I suggest getting involved at the local level first. Why? This is the truth. 150 people have more power on the steps of City Hall than 10,000 do on the steps of Congress. Especially when it comes to the day-to-day lives of their fellow citizens. That's the truth. We are proof of that. We at the Overton Group, the Overton Report, we've been directly involved, and I'm so proud to say partly, a little part, responsible for a number of real liberty-growing changes in policy within Charleston, Dorchester, certain school boards, even the State House. We've played small roles, and the Overton Report isn't even a year old yet. It doesn't take long. So, with that being said, this is why I brought so many voter registration applications today. I'm going to challenge each person here as a way to get your feet wet in actual solution-oriented political activism to take 2 voter registration applications and make it your goal to sign up 2 conservative voters who believe in the tenets of the Constitution, the spirit of the Declaration of Independence, and the importance of individual liberty. That's your assignment. You didn't know you were getting homework today. Good luck with it. Keep them in your purse, keep them in your glove box. The moment will come, and it'll be very clear when that moment does come. Your job is to recognize it when it presents itself and do your part. There are many things we have in the works, from organized cleanups to voter registration drives to more speeches like this to fundraisers. We want you to be a part of all of that as well. The only way we beat the left at their own game is to play it the right way. We need not only match their energy, but surpass it. To that end, before I finish my speech with my last paragraph, don't forget, if you haven't already, get a raffle ticket. They're free. We got some awesome prizes we're about to give away. On our table back there, sign up for our newsletter, because God knows Facebook is going to kick us off. Sign up for the newsletter, take a card, get some water, it's free, all that. Okay, so listen, this moment right here, this is the first step towards the end of tyranny. Together, I promise you, we will become invincible and undefeatable. Righteousness is on our side in this fight. Individual liberty is a cause worthy of all costs. To me, and I imagine the same can be said for more and more people every single day. Just look at Cuba right now. The cause of liberty is worth all costs. The cause of America is worth all costs. If we lose here, there is nowhere left to go. That's why, my friends, that is why we absolutely cannot lose here. God bless all of you. God bless this country and this beautiful state. My name's Corey Allen, the Overton Report. Thank you so much for coming.
I knew he was going to blow it out of the water. Nice job, Corey.